Hey, it's me, Vicki Marie, and good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this crazy world we live in. And tonight I'm going to look at a Spanish crime because I rarely look at crimes in Spain, do I? And I just thought it'd be something different to look at. It's very sort of famous case in Spain, but I don't think it's a case that is sort of circulated around the world, and that quite often happens with Spanish cases, doesn't it? Or cases from countries where there's a language problem. So in the UK, you tend to get to hear about American cases, even Australian cases, but not so much about Spanish cases, because there's always like a language barrier, a language problem. And this case is about Gabriel and the wicked stepmother. And it's a little bit like the case of Gannon Stalk in America. I don't know if any of you know about that case, where Gannon disappeared and then it turned out that his stepmother had actually, done away with him and disposed of his body in a suitcase. Anyway, it's a similar case to that. So a bit of a trigger warning. It does deal with the death of a child. So I know that can upset some people. But it's, as I say, very famous case in Spain. And we're going to look at it and look at the circumstances of it. Now, first of all, let's... Hi, so let me so this is Gabriel here. This is who we're going to talk about. This is little Gabriel, and this is his stepmom, who was a very wicked stepmother, it turned out. So, okay, let's start with this story of Gabriel. So, as I say, it's a little bit of a sad story. Obviously when a child goes missing and turns up deceased like that. But it's an interesting story because, some of the, some of the true crime cases, sometimes the very perpetrator is always in the front line, aren't they, right from the beginning. And this is what happened with Gabriel. His stepmom was right, trying to interfere with the police investigation, making suggestions, finding things, handing them into the police. And of course, that's a prime sign to the police when someone tries to interject themselves into a crime scene or a case. That's a prime sign to detectives that person may have something to do with it. And I do believe she was also the last person to see Gabriel alive. Anyway, let's read the story. So this, as far as videos were concerned, it was a little bit difficult to find videos to present to you because most of them, obviously, they're in Spanish. So I'm going to read you this article. Oh, this is after she actually admitted it. I don't want that first, actually, do I? Oh, let me show you whereabouts. So this is where this happened. It was in a place called Hortichuelas, which is in Almería in Spain. Now, Almería is a place that is well known, famous for its agriculture. Because, you know, I know people think that Spain is all about tourism, but it isn't, you know, all about tourism. Another massive thing in Spain, or massive part of its economy, is agriculture, fruit exports, etc. So Hortichuelas is, as I say, in Almería, which is a very famous place. I'm trying to find where it. I'm trying to show you. So when I say it's in Almería, and where is Almería, you might ask? Well, it's sort of further south. Probably the most famous place for people, probably as far as Spain is concerned, is the Costa Blanca. For British people, they know Benidorm, you know, Benidorm, Alicante. That's up here. Let me just make it a bit smaller. In the Alicante region, most people know between Valencia, Alicante is probably the most popular place for tourism. But if you come further down past Murcia, the next place, further down south, Cartagena, Mazaron, and keep going as if you're at Mojaca, and you keep going as if you're going to well, really, as if you're going to Gibraltar, more or less. That's Gibraltar, Granada, etc. is all Malaga, is all this way. Marbella, here's Gibraltar here. And Almería is here. And it is a very popular holiday place with the Spanish, but there are expats there as well. But that's where this happened. In, as I say, this strangely named place called Hortichuelas, which I'll probably find out to find now. But anyway, it's in this area. So this is where it happened. Now I've got the... So let me explain to you how the events unfolded. Now, Gabriel's parents, first of all, let me say, Gabriel's parents were divorced or separated. So they were not together. So Gabriel lived with his dad, or he was staying. I'm not sure if he lived with him all the time, or he was just staying with him, you know, when the unfortunate event happened. But basically, this happened on the 27th of February in 2018, and Gabriel was only 8 years old. Let me put a picture of Gabriel up. Put Gabriel's picture up so we can see the little boy. It's important, isn't it, to have a look at him while we're talking about him. So there's Gabriel. He was only 8 years old. Bless his little cotton socks. Did I put the picture up? Hang on, just let me check. Yeah, I did put the picture up. So the operation to catch his murderer was called Operation Nemo. And he disappeared at the age of 8. His name is Gabriel Cruz Ramírez. And he disappeared, aged 8, only 8 years old, on the afternoon of the 27th of February 2018 in Almería, which is in Andalusia, Spain. So he was traveling from his grandmother's residence to his cousin. So he's going from his grandma's to his cousin's. It's a 100-meter journey from his grandma's to his cousin's. And this would be quite common, even though he was only 8 years old. And you think, oh God, he shouldn't have been on his own. But we're talking about a little village here where he disappeared. And, you know, nobody would have thought that anything could possibly have happened to him. You know what it's like. We've looked at that in many cases. Oh, that couldn't happen here. Safe, you know, it's a safe place, etc. And you would think that he would be safe in that area. And he was missing in the end for 12 days before it was found out what happened to him. So a search and rescue operation started, 3,000 volunteers, 2,000 professionals. The Spanish would definitely, well, I think anybody would, a child going missing like that, it would be a big operation. And it was the largest coordinated search for a missing person in Spanish history. And he was finally found on the 11th of March 2018 in the boot of a car belonging to Ana Julia Quezada, and that was his father's partner. So that's her that's on this photo. You can't see her particularly well, but she was from the Dominican Republic, and she had ended up being Gabriel's father's partner after he split up from Gabriel's mother. And it was well known that Gabriel and her, they did not get on. Gabriel did not like her, and well, turns out she did not like Gabriel. Now, while Gabrielle was missing, as I say, she interjected herself in the police operation, and she actually found one day, or said she found one day, his T-shirt. So let me just find the details of that. What did she say that she found? So he left his grandmother's house to go and play at his cousin's house. And to get there, he had to walk on an unpaved dirt road and cross the main street. But he just disappeared before he even got to his cousin's house. And when he failed to come back at 6 p.m., which is when he was supposed to come back, the grandmother went to the relative's house to see if he was there. But so bearing in mind in all that, in the time in between, she thought he'd gone to the relative's house. The relatives didn't realise he was coming to the house. So nobody knew he was missing for quite a few hours, unfortunately. And by the time it was realised it was missing, you know, he'd not been seen for hours. So both of his parents were not in town at the time, were not there at the time. His mum and dad were not there at the time. He was in the care of his grandma. I do feel sorry for his grandma. Anyway, they returned. They were alerted. They came back from wherever they were. They came to help in the search for the son. And then when they hadn't found him by 8:30, they contacted the police. So the strange thing that happened was then a week later, a white T-shirt was found about 4 kilometers from where he was last seen. And they found his DNA. The police analysis was carried out, and they found DNA on the T-shirt that confirmed that was his. But who found the T-shirt? His stepmother. So I'm just going to see if I can find some video footage, because even though it might be in Spanish, we don't have to listen to it. We can just watch it. Yeah, what's this? Oh, this is in the court afterwards. We could have a look at, right? I don't know whether to show you that because it's in the court and it's all talking. Really, what I'd like to see is a video of the stepmom, etc. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. Hang on. I can probably find the images, yeah. So this will give you an idea of the actual stepmother. So this is the stepmom. She was from the Dominican Republic. And she had come into Spain, and I don't think they were married. She started going out with Gabriel's dad, and as I say, they didn't get on very well. Her and Gabriel did not get on very well. Let's just have a look at this BBC report. No. Anyway, let me tell you the story first, and then we'll come back to them. So for all those days, he was missing, and his stepmother was sort of claiming she didn't know anything about it, but then she found this T-shirt and she passed it on to the police, and I think that's what alerted them, especially to her, because the police had already searched that area where she said that she found the T-shirt. The police had already searched that area, so they knew that it had been searched. There was no T-shirt there. And then suddenly she comes up with this T-shirt that she's found there. So they knew that she had put that T-shirt there afterwards. You know, another criminal mastermind, of course. And then the Spanish media reported that 2 people had claimed to see a van lurking around the area. And then only 2 days later, so what she didn't know, what Ana Julia Quezada, the stepmom, didn't know, was that not only the police were following her and tracking her, but the media were following her and tracking her as well. And she went off to like a Casa de Campo, like a little country house. And when she came out, the police descended and realised that poor little Gabriel, she'd put the body of Gabriel in the back of her car. So she'd been hiding it at this remote country house. And then when she thought she wasn't being watched, she went to get the body and obviously was planning on moving it somewhere else. But she was caught because she didn't realise she was being followed. By both, as I say, by both the police and by the media themselves. Now, the other thing I need to tell you about this woman, talk about an evil stepmother. She wasn't only an evil stepmother, she wasn't too good as a mother either, because her daughter, her own biological daughter, she had a biological daughter, had also died in mysterious circumstances. And so she was originally from the Dominican Republic, and she emigrated to Spain with her daughter, Ridelka Josefina Gil Quesada, in 1995. And Ridelka, her daughter, her biological daughter, the following year, at only 4 years old, she fell out of a 7th-floor window at her mum's flat in Burgos, where her mum was living. This 4-year-old girl fell out the window and died. But this was ruled as an accidental death. Now, they say they're going to reinvestigate it, whether they will or not, I don't know, or whether they have or not. But what can you do after all this time? I don't know. But so not only her stepson, poor Gabrielle, we know for certain that she murdered him because she did confess in the end. But she had also probably murdered her own daughter, 4-year-old girl, and pushed her out the window. Probably, allegedly. So, anyway, now there's definitely a bit of a video or some sort of photos of her being caught by the media. Let's have a look. See if I can find it. Let's see. Trouble is, when you put these things in, you get all these bloody different pictures of murdered children. It's awful. There's definitely some sort of a video about her. Let's see. Anyway, it's just not coming up at all. But anyway, so let's then go. So what happened was she was then arrested, and she claimed that she had nothing to do with poor little Gabriel's death. But finally, she did admit it. 2 days later, she confessed. Let's see if the Daily Mail has got the video. So, stepmother who cried crocodile tears confesses to killing her 8-year-old. God, all these adverts come up, don't they? Her 8-year-old stepson after his body was found in her car boot in missing child case that has rocked Spain, and it did. So Ana Julia Quezada admitted to murdering her stepson Gabriel Cruz. He went missing on the 27th of February. She took part in the search along with her partner, and then his body was later found in the trunk of a car. Now, the thing is, you can't, what can you do? But, how are you going to explain that one away? Do you know what I mean? It's like it's pretty conclusive evidence that when a body's found in the trunk of your car, that it's likely to be something to do with you. So when he disappeared from the small southeastern village of Las Hortichuelas, it sparked that search involving hundreds of volunteers. And here she is. But she'd been dated. They'd been dating for a few years. Like, she'd been Gabriel's stepmom. Wasn't just like, a couple of weeks and she didn't know him very well. It says here several years. Well, he was only 8, that poor boy. But apparently there was some... Well, the thing is, look at her there. She's got the bloody T-shirt on. Todos somos Gabriel. This reminds me of Seth Rogers. So you got the T-shirt on it saying, "We are all Gabriel." That's what that means. Todos somos Gabriel. We are all Gabriel. So she's got the bloody T-shirt on, and she's the one who's killed him. Just shows you, people, they hide in plain sight. You can't, people seem to be genuine, and then it turns out. So this is his dad who was going out with that woman, and that's his mum. You can see how upset they are. Let's just look at these photos. Oh, bless. That's his little coffin. It's awful, isn't it, when you see children's coffins because they're so tiny. But you can, look at his mum there. You can see how heartbroken she is. And there's her comforting her partner, Gabriel's dad, knowing where Gabriel's body was. Yeah. Do you know, you can never underestimate people and what they're capable of. Dear me. Yeah. You just can't underestimate them, can you? Anyway, sorry, I've gone off the chat, let me say. Oh, it's not, is it? Oh, God, I forgot to take the thing off. Ah, I forgot to take the bloody picture off. Ay. There she is. There she is. Let me go back and show you those photos again because I'd forgotten to take the picture off. So here she is. She's got the T-shirt on. Todos somos Gabriel. We are all Gabriel. And she knows exactly where he is because she's the one who's hidden his body. Let me go back. So this is the funeral. That's his mum and his dad. I wonder if they, you know, if it helped them get back together or anything. So yeah, that's her comforting Gabriel's dad, knowing exactly where Gabriel is. And we mustn't forget that her own 4-year-old daughter died in suspicious circumstances. Makes you wonder, did she push her out of that window? You know, she's not a nice person, is she? If you can kill a child in cold blood like that. Yeah, apparently the reason that she killed him, it was jealousy, just pure jealousy. She was jealous of the attention that he got, and they never got on. She's not, it sounds to me, I mean, if she did that to her own child, sounds like she's a person that won't get on with any child, or because children demand a lot of attention, don't they? So if you're a person that wants all the attention for yourself, then you're going to get angry at the attention given to anybody else, child or not. And this was what I was saying about his little coffin. Very sad. And that's his mum and dad, heartbroken. So what she'd done on March the 3rd, she'd staged this appearance of the T-shirt worn by him. She said she'd found the T-shirt 4 kilometres from Ortichuelas, where he disappeared. But to do this, she had to go through a piece of land and enter a gully, which the researchers thought it was impossible for her to do. And she was the one, she was telling Angel, the dad, to go and search that area. And then she was the one who found the T-shirt. You know, so it was suspicious. So that I think the police were already a little bit suspicious of her. But when she found that T-shirt, they were very suspicious of her. Because as I say, you know, the police had already been searched, so they couldn't understand why suddenly she'd found this T-shirt there. And also they felt that she had found that T-shirt deliberately, or planted that T-shirt so that Angel, the father, that he would get some hope. God. Also, apparently near to the area, her ex-partner lived, and it was thought that maybe she was trying to cast aspersions on him and her ex-partner and make the police look towards him. But of course, you know, they're not that stupid. You know, what is she thinking, that because she's pointing them towards someone, the police will just think, oh yeah, you know, T-shirt's been found here, so it must be him. Of course, they're going to they probably looked into him. He was probably looked into right from the beginning. The Guardia would never tell you what they were up to anyway. But as I say, so off she went to this country house, but she didn't realise she was under close surveillance. And then the officers actually saw her getting the body out. You know, she's thick or what? It wasn't even nighttime, it was daytime, and she was being followed not only by the police, but she was being followed by the press. So she put the body in the trunk and left for Almería. And that's when they approached her and arrested her. And in the car, in the trunk, they found Gabriel's body wrapped in a blanket. The child was half naked, wearing only underwear, apparently. But she'd taken the T-shirt off to plant it, I suppose. So while Gabriel was missing, she had participated in his search. And guess what? It turned out she was giving Gabriel's dad large doses of diazepam. So she was drugging him. Gosh, who does that remind you of? That's like Stephen Stearns all over again, isn't it? She was drugging him with diazepam to calm him down and make him forget about what had happened. Yeah, and she'd said to him, why don't we go to the Dominican Republic? Why don't we get married? Why don't we do this and why don't we do that? Anyway, there you go. So that was the sort of background story. Let's go now to this article, this BBC, or is it? Oh no, it's RTE. It's a Spanish article, but it's in English. Stepmother admits killing young boy in Spain. A woman caught in Spain with the body of her 8-year-old stepson in her car boot has admitted that she killed him. She had a Dominican, Ana Julia Quesada, a Dominican woman who was in a relationship with Gabriel Cruz's father, admitted being the perpetrator. And I think we'll probably get, this was the funeral. Oh, bless. Well, they've got police cars there accompanying. Oh, that's really emotional, isn't it? God. So speaking to the media, Mr. Cruz gave thanks for all the support received during the days of uncertainty. You gave us strength to search for Gabriel. Now, Gabriel would have been buried very shortly after he was found, well, once they'd done the necessary, what do you call it, post-mortem, etc. Because in Spain, you get buried very quickly, within a couple of days normally. So news of Gabriel's murder and Quesada's arrest sparked an outpouring of hatred towards her, despite calls for calm by the parents. So she was, she was mobbed when she left the building, accompanied by police who had to wrestle with people to push them away. And then this news came out that a girl presented as Quesada's daughter died in 1996 in Burgos, which is in the north of Spain, a long way away from Almería, after falling out of the window of their home. What do you think? Do you think she had anything to do with that? I think it's 100% she had something to do with that, to be honest. Right, let's see if I can find... I don't know why I can't find any videos. When you're not looking for them, they just bloody pop up. When you're looking for them, you can't find them. Just trying to find some sort of a video, but it seems impossible. Now, you think, oh, well, what sentence did she get? You know, is she in prison? Blah, de, blah, de, blah. I don't think she is. Oh, she is, yeah. So let's have a look. apparently she's in isolation. Mind you, this was 2018. There she is. Hang on, let's share this. So this is her. She was, like the most hated woman in Spain at the time. You can imagine. It just makes you think, though, isn't it? It just makes you think. I think it's unusual for it to be the woman, isn't it? We always think of stepdads, but quite often it is stepmoms do things like this. I've never done that. I've not done a case about Gannon Stalk. I haven't done a video about Gannon Stalk, but you might know about him. That was Letitia Stalk who killed him. Why can't I find how to click onto this article? This is the Olive Press. It's a pretty rubbish paper, to be honest, in Spain, but let's try again. Wish I could find some video footage. Yeah, I think this case is ongoing, to be honest. I don't think it's been sorted properly yet. Because there was a big thing in June this year. There was a big kerfuffle. About how, anyway, let's just look at this. Yeah, so what happened was in June, sorry, I know you probably can't, of course, they're all in Spanish, all the videos. Let me just share this, actually. This is Gabriel's mum, and oh God, you can just see the pain in her face. They're making a documentary about his death, and she's trying to fight it because I'll see if I can put the subtitles on in English. No, won't do English.
Mi reacción lo primero fue perplejidad. No me podía imaginar jamás que la persona que se lo llevó, y además sin avisarnos a nosotros desde dentro de prisión, pudiera estar haciendo semejante atrocidad y lucrándose por ello.
So she's saying that she just cannot believe that the person that's in prison is alive. So this woman is going to take part in this documentary about Gabriel, apparently. So the mother is like fuming, as you can imagine. So she's fighting to stop this documentary being made.
La sensación fue de miedo y de estupor, de perplejidad, de enfado, de frustración, de indefensión. Creo que no hay una emoción que no pueda englobar cómo me sentí.
¿Cómo ha sido tu...
So I think, I know you probably don't speak Spanish, but you can even see in her face and you can feel in her voice, you know, the emotion and how upset she is about this happening.
todo este proceso para impedir que se grabara? Después de la perplejidad, ¿qué acción tomaste?
Desde que se lo llevó, sabíamos que existía la intención por su parte de hacer esta producción. En su momento lo intentaron hace unos años, parece que conseguimos pararlo y esta vez pues empezaron otra vez. Que nosotros sepamos, nos llegó hace un año y finalmente ante ese silencio y la falta de ayuda decidimos salir a esa rueda de prensa de Nuestros peces no se venden y explicarle a la sociedad cómo se estaba intentando producir el documental, los medios irregularidades que se estaban cometiendo y la necesidad que teníamos después de 6 años de que nos dejen tranquilos con nuestro dolor y respeten la memoria de nuestro.
So apparently this started about 6 years ago and they managed to stop this documentary being produced. But now they're planning on doing it again, so she's got to go through it all again, stop it happening again.
Nuestro hijo.
Señora Patricia, ¿ha logrado usted crear algún precedente legal en España para que esto no se repita nunca jamás?
Pues no lo sé, no lo sé.
Pues ojalá que sí, Patricia, de todo corazón. De verdad que fue un caso que conmocionó a toda la sociedad española, a todo el mundo que escuchó este caso y definitivamente quiero que sepas que aquí siempre vas a tener un apoyo en tu lucha por tu pescadito, que ya es el pescadito de todos.
Oh, so bless. Anyway, so that woman asked a really stupid question like, do you think this will ever happen again? And that's when she went, I don't know. I don't know if it'll ever happen again. You know, it was like a bit of a daft question, but that guy finished off by saying something nice, saying that, well, I hope you realise that all our hearts are with you in your fight for your little man, you know. So anyway, it's difficult because, of course, it's all in Spanish, so it's difficult for you to maybe get the feel of it. But I just think you can hear the emotion in the voice, whether you speak Spanish or not. Hi, Julie. Now, we don't know that Katie Proudfoot has done anything, David. Did you see, I know you like JLR, don't you? Did you see what JLR was showing today about Katie Proudfoot? Well, about Chris Proudfoot. They're all in court, aren't they, for this stalking case? Because everyone's been stalking Chris and Katie. I personally don't think Katie's got anything to do with Sebastian disappearing, but do you know what? Could be wrong. I could be wrong. Did you know about this case, Julie? Of course, Julie's in Spain as well. I don't know. It's quite a long way from where you are, Julie. It's in Almería, this case happened, but it's quite a famous case of Gabriel. Now, I'm going to do a proper deep dive one day. I just wanted to talk about it tonight because I thought it'd be interesting to talk about a case from somewhere else. You know, like, because obviously normally I do American cases or British cases. Yeah, but I know what you're saying, David, but we don't know she's not devastated, do we? We don't know that she's not devastated. We don't know how she is really day in, day out. You know, same with Jen Soto, as far as I'm concerned. Though I didn't like that latest interview she did, but we don't know what's going on, you know, in four walls, do we? Some people don't know how to show their emotions the same. But I don't know. I mean, the Sebastian Rogers case has blown my mind for a little while now. That's why I don't go into it much. But I did see JLR's tweets where he's there at the courtroom, probably not him, but he's got somebody there at the courtroom taking these photos of all the people that have appeared at the stalking case. And, you know, God, who knows? And then, of course, we've got Dog the Bounty Hunter and Nick the Hat jumping in the pool. Like, the reward's now $100,000. Well, if that doesn't bring someone out the woodwork, I don't know what will, you know. But, you know, if you can't find someone to talk for $100,000, you've not got much chance, have you, of ever finding anyone to talk? But sorry, I was just looking for Gabriel then. But I mean, there's loads of cases in Spain, to be fair. You know, I don't cover them much. The only reason I don't cover them much is because a lot of the videos and things that I would like to show, obviously they're in Spanish. So it's difficult because you know, I've got to then translate, but it's not the same as watching one in your own language, is it? I wonder if this has got a little video of her. Let's have a look at this.
Entre sollozos, Ana Julia Quesada, de 43 años, confesó a las autoridades españolas que fue ella quien mató al niño Gabriel Cruz, de 8 años.
So that is the stepmom there. God, I'll probably get done for copyright for this. So, do you know what? You just don't know what's bloody copyright and what isn't. But it is doing me for copyright. As I say, if I ever disappear off YouTube, look for me on Rumble. So this is the stepmother here with Gabriel's father, and at this time he did not know that he was hugging the murderer of his son.
Entre sollozos, Ana Julia Quesada, de 43 años, confesó a las autoridades españolas que fue ella quien mató al niño Gabriel Cruz, de 8 años, quien había desaparecido desde el 27 de febrero en una localidad al sureste de España. Quesada, quien fue detenida el domingo como presunta autora de la muerte.
Actually, I'm going to turn the sound down because I'm less likely to get picked up there if they want to pick me up. Yeah, now let me just tell you, in the Dominican Republic, she was working she was a working girl, let's say. And she met someone there who brought her over to Spain, saved her from that life. And she had her daughter who, as I say, died mysteriously in Burgos. And I don't know what happened to the guy who brought her over from the Dominican Republic. But then she moved from Burgos, which is right up in the north of Spain. She moved down to Almería after her daughter died and then met this guy. And unfortunately, he had Gabriel. He had a son, and she obviously does not like children. Oh. Oh. I mean, the parents, you know, they just he looks absolutely, both of them. That is what grief looks like, isn't it? Oh. It's quite a contrast, isn't it, with the way Jen Soto is? It is quite a contrast, really. But ay, 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 ay. Yeah, she'll have been looking for somebody financially to look after her. She got rid of her daughter, you know, pushed her out of a window. And then, you know, she probably travelled then right to the other end of Spain so that nobody would know her. Do you know, or know what she was up to? But anyway, now, no offence, but I'm going to love you and leave you because I think the football's probably started back now. Hey. So I'm going to go and watch it. But listen, thanks for watching. I will definitely do maybe a deeper dive on this another day. Go on. It's time for a dog changeover. I'll maybe do a deeper dive on it one day, try and find some actual videos and some more visual stuff. But I just wanted to tell you, yeah, about a different case, a Spanish case for a change. Oh God, all the dogs are barking at the moment, Heather. But yeah, probably the little yappy bark is probably the Chihuahua. And then it sets off all the other dogs. Okay, so I'll see you tomorrow, of course. And thank you again for being members. And take care. Have a good evening or morning or afternoon or whatever. And hello, replay crew, because people who are watching this on the catch up. And I'll see you later and be good. Be good. I won't go any further than that. Just be good. Thank you for watching. And until I see you again, as always, may your God go with you. Now I've got to find my little video here. Now,